Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready.
What's up on the Black Hand Side? Stamped from the beginning. New on Netflix. I watched it. Let's talk about it. And yes, you can already hear from the serious tone in my voice, this is going to be a serious video. So Stamped from the Beginning is a new documentary on Netflix, just dropped. It is a exploration and review of racism, white supremacy, in the history of us in America. It is, it gives a slightly different context, and a lot of different information kind of than what I've seen before. I myself learned some new things, and y'all know Mo knows Mo than a lot of motherfuckers. So I learned, a lot. And listen, I'm not gonna lie, it's heavy, right? All of this shit is always heavy. So, if there are those of you who are like, listen, I can't take them on. I understand. I do. I really do. But I always take time to watch things like this because I think it's important that I take the time to do that so I can come, to do content like this. And so I can talk to the other people in other groups and things that I participate in, along these lines. I'll also add this, Black men, if you would like to gain some additional insight into the history and the context of Black women within this country, within the construct, of these systems, this gives a lot of insight. It's not explicitly and totally about Black women, but it has a lot in there that gave, just a lot. So one part in particular that just, man, it hit like a ton of bricks. It's a clip, and I'm going to play it. It's Maya Angelou, a poem that she recited at University of Texas at Austin. And I remember it because I watched it as a kid. And y'all know me being on the spectrum, auditory input is my principal driver. And I guess the blessing and the curse of it is all of this shit is here forever, right? I got shit all the way from childhood. So, I remember watching this as a kid. And when I watched it as a kid, I remember, and it's, I'm horrified, sick, and saddened, a whole bunch of shit. I'm still processing it, honestly. But I remember as a kid when I watched it, honestly feeling uncomfortable and embarrassed, by her tears, honestly. Kind of almost in the get over it, like, oh, like why? Oh, she's so dramatic, that almost in that kind of vein, right? But as I watched it in this documentary, and I have re-recorded this, but as I watched it in this documentary, baby, I got it. I get it. I got the tears. Shit. I'ma just roll the clip.
The child I works for calls me girl. I say, yes ma'am, for working's sake. I'm too proud to bend and too poor to break. So, I laugh until my stomach aches when I think about myself. My folks can make me split my side. I laughed so hard, I nearly died. The tales they tell sound just like lying. They grow the fruit but eat the rind. I laugh until I start to cry when I think about myself. It could and did derive from living on the ledge of death. They kept my race alive by wearing the mask.
Yeah, I told you. And what it let me know, is that the child I was, within the context of the systems and the way that this country is, the child that I was would never have been allowed to become the woman the promise of the possibility of who I could be because of the systems. And I am indeed exactly the woman in that poem today. That's it. That's all.
Where to begin with the sin that is anti-blackness? These under-eye patches because I can see through the bullshit. Here is my Black Boy review of Stamped from the Beginning. Based on Ibram Kendi's banned book, Hi, Florida. The author and filmmaker Ross Williams have provided a documentary that I believe should be a required watch. The first of two high-level takeaways is that anti-blackness is based on bold-faced lies. Like Prince Henry of Portugal popularizing the slavery of darker-skinned humans because they were easier to point out when they ran away, but hiring a royal chronicler to claim it was missionary work to save their souls. Or Confederate fuckstick Jefferson Davis claiming that slavery was ratified in the Bible. It was not. Also, the Bible is made up, but wasn't in there. Or serial rapist and slave owner Thomas Jefferson, who somehow was preaching anti-slavery while owning them, but was against abolition while sexually assaulting black women for years. And for some reason, we put the colonial Harvey Weinstein on our currency. Get this man off the currency. This is ridiculous. Or that codified racial slavery in the United States was created to avoid things like Beacon's Rebellion, where white indentured servants and black slaves teamed up to temporarily overthrow the capital of Virginia. Codified whiteness keeps you from feeling like you're at the bottom when you're disenfranchised. This has become a core tenet of American culture. And number two, listen to me closely. The system is not broken. It works entirely as intended. The only thing that allows you to abuse, enslave, beat, murder, and sexually assault with impunity is the idea that we are not fully human. And this is the through line in how we are presented in media, in music, in the legal system, etc., at all. If we are seen as inherently dangerous and disturbing, anything you do to us is justified. Otherwise, how could you sleep at night? So in conclusion, I would challenge you to watch the film and ask questions. We've all been indoctrinated into this culture, and it is on us to decolonize our minds if anything is going to be changed. Two Black Boy full fists up for this film. Roll credits.
The alternate title for this movie is Holding Up a Mirror to the Killers of Dreams. What up, world? It's your boy Physics, and I'm here to bring a review for the documentary that is streaming on Netflix, Stamped from the Beginning. Oscar-winning director Roger Ross Williams brings Dr. Ibram X. Kendi's New York Times bestseller to the screen with Stamped from the Beginning. Published in 2016, Dr. Kendi's National Book Award winner chronicles the entire story of anti-black racist ideas and their staggering power over the course of American history. If only I could go back in time and punt the baby version of Prince Henry the Navigator. Now let's get this out the way. Yes, Ibram X. Kendi is dealing with his own BS, and he is wrong in that. But just because he was wrong in that doesn't mean he's not right in this. The movie begins and ends with a simple question. What's wrong with black people? This film feels like a shorter but less exhaustive version of Exterminate All the Brutes, which if you have HBO Max, watch it. It's one of the most important films when it comes to racism, capitalism, and just the BS of this world. Where I say this film shines, it's showing what black women went through when it comes to anti-racism in this world. It really shines a light on those that shine a light on it and needs to be known, because the archives always try to erase narratives that are going against status quo. It really looks at the images that media puts out and how those images makes those that don't come in contact with people that look like me form their own ideals about a culture they really have no idea about. They looked at the Jezebel, which when it came to my dissertation in school, I did it on black women stereotypes via television. And one of the things they picked was the Jezebel. You have the Jezebel, you have the Sapphire, you have the Mammy, but when it came to the Jezebel, it gave people the right to look at black women and go, oh, those women are promiscuous and they deserve everything they get. And now that little seed has now sprouted into this thing that black women have to deal with every day. And this film really hammers the thought that it's important to not look away. Ida B. Wells brought lynching to the forefront during her time period, and when it comes to modern day lynching now, social media is the new Ida B. Wells, and it'd be a shame for us to just turn our back because it make us feel uncomfortable, because guess what? Some people are always uncomfortable. All in all, this is a documentary you should be watching. It's an hour and 32 minutes, so it doesn't take long. So take the time out to watch it because it is important. But I'll say this, these movies aren't made for people that look like me or black folks that are in the know. Like Killers of the Flower Moon, this is for the allies to study up and those that don't know to wake the hell up. And it's time for this nation to really look at itself and know that a lot of the joys that they have received came off the back of slavery. And we know it's not your fault. We know you weren't there. But if you believe in equality and what's right, stand up for those when their voices are being silenced. It's the bare minimum.
Hey everyone, I'm going to do a quick review of the graphic novel version of Stamped from the Beginning by Ibram X. Kendi, illustrated by Joel Christian Gill. I thought this was a great history of racist ideas in this country. And it really was interesting to read a book with that specific focus, because I think it brought out a lot of new aspects towards systemic racism in this country that might not have come out otherwise. I really appreciated the graphic novelization. I thought that it was imbued with a type of sardonic humor that, although it treats the issue of white supremacy and racism very seriously, it does not diminish the issue at all, but it imbues it with this humor, I think, to make it more accessible to people who, I don't know, I think this would be a great book to use in high schools to teach, because, you know, it gives the characters, historical figures, maybe more modern sounding language, in a way where the incongruity is humorous, has them say things they never would have said, and uses this technique to, I think, really try and connect with people who might not otherwise read a book like this. So I would say that that would be, to me, that seems like the target audience. I think if you're the scholarly type, or if you've already read this book, I would say maybe pass on it, unless you're a lover of graphic novels like I am. You know, then read it for that. I mean, the art's really good, and there's definitely that element of it too. So, all right, thanks everyone.